What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Gemini, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So guess what, Gemini? It's General Energy Weekly Spread. So with this General Energy Weekly Spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, Gemini, there might be some messages here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Gemini. So before we jump into these, okay. Well, before we jump into these things, Gemini, I'm going to pull some oracle cards and then we'll get some tarot for some details. But with these readings, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below. So definitely or check that out if you're curious, Gemini. But apparently, let's get into this thing. Oh, and look at you. Yeah, we're getting into it. You got the 5th card of Aries here, which is the slingshot card. And with this slingshot, this is a card of tension, strain, sudden, anxiety, pressure, launch, stressed, pull, set in motion, focus, begin, force, change, pulled in opposite directions, ready, aim, fire. So Gemini, considering, well, you know, this is Aries card, so it's no surprise that it came out a little hot. But if we've been just considering how that kind of popped out there, if we've been feeling just kind of frazzled, you know, maybe the stress has been high, maybe we've been feeling a lot of anxiety, you know, this could be anything, you know, maybe something going on with relationships, you know, whether that be familial, friends, family, even like business relationships. Maybe there's something going, maybe you're in a busy time with work right now. But if there's been something that's gotten you just like pulled so tight, because I'm just thinking with that slingshot, it almost reminds me of like a rubber band. You know, if you're pulled in like in every which way, and you don't take take this time to just kind of relax for a little bit, to take some of that tension off of you, it's going to, we may not feel it at that time, you know, while you've been just kind of going, but when you do finally get a moment to relieve some of that tension, you've lost some of that elasticity, you know what I mean, Gemini? And we just want to be aware of when you're putting the body under that pressure, that affects you. It's going to start, you may not feel it physically, but that's going to affect you mentally, and eventually that's going to wear into your physical, and it's going to wear into your spiritual. It's going to throw everything out of balance. So we just want to be mindful. Just thinking with Aries energy, because I know, you know, they're a sign that they know how to crank, they know how to push. And not to say that you can't push, Gemini, but we just want to be mindful of how far we're pushing. You know, we don't want to get, you know what I mean? We just don't want to put ourselves in detriment. I also kind of feel with this, though, Gemini, let's switch gears a little bit, that if we've been kind of focused on something, let's say like maybe a career shift, or maybe just like, maybe you wanted to start a hobby, or just been maybe focusing on just like some self-improvement, maybe you've been learning, you know, hitting the internet, hitting the library, however that's looking. I feel like that this is a great energy, you know, if we haven't been focused on something, to think about some things, you know, think about some areas if things have kind of plateaued. That's just, you know, I don't feel like this is going to resonate. I'm not saying like do something, Gemini, like right now, but just if we've been thinking about something, or if we've been wanting to refine some things, be thinking about that, Gemini. Where do we want to get our focus at, and where do we want to put all our energy into? But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Interesting. Fun little fact, Gemini. She actually popped up here she popped up during the pre-shuffle. Because you got the Queen of Wands upright, Whew. And then we got the Death card and then the Six of Pentacles here, Gemini. And I really feel like that because the Queen of Wands, this is Aries energy as well. And I do feel that if we've been, I almost feel with this energy, just like just being mindful of where we're putting our energy, because it's not to say that this is going to, what am I trying to get out at you, Gemini? If we've been just kind of just like cranking, for a little while here, I just really feel like with this, the Queen of Wands, Six of Pentacles, there's this energy of really just paying attention to where you're putting that energy. And if all we've been getting is just kind of stress, anxiety, pressure and things, then I feel like let's ease up on that a little bit, or let's try to find a balance. And I know that's like a duh, but just kind of pay attention to how things have been going. Has there been any kind of areas that we've noticed any kind of things in? And if so, getting eyes on that, because I feel like with this Death card here, that's something that we're going to want to shift up, want to change, because the energy that is getting me that, and again, this is not to get you to panic or anything, but it just gives me that if we just keep going, if you just keep going at 100 all the time, it's going to, it'll, because when you think about that, it affects your sleep. If we've been cranking stress stuff, so then to get through the day, we get to turn to caffeine, whether that's coffee, maybe we're doing like 5-hour energies, but then that's throwing the body out of like your circadian rhythm. It throws all the cycles out, Gemini, and that's really what I'm kind of feeling with this energy. So just be mindful of that. But now going back to like the focus aspect on it, because Aries energy, when they're going to get something started, they're one of the cardinal signs. They're going to get things going. And Aries is the type, they're not going to think twice about it. And Queen of Wands, and it's not to say that it's reckless, Gemini, but it's when if there's a focus, let's say you've been wanting to start up a business, for an example, figuring out what you want to pour into this thing, what resources that you're going to need, what changes that need to be made, what maybe you need to learn, maybe if we need to partner up with someone, whatever that is. But I feel like that if we're feeling stressed about starting something or nervous or anything along those lines, that's a good sign, Gemini, especially like just thinking with the business, for example, because that means it means something to you. And that means we're going to want to give it all. We want to take care of it and nurture that thing. So do that, Gemini, and know that as you go, because the Queen of Wands, she thinks on her toes. She's the type that there's only plan A. Whatever this focus is, bet she's going to get this figured out. And making sure that you follow through, Gemini, because one thing with Aries energy, sometimes they can start off really strong, but to keep that momentum, sometimes that can get a little lacking. So we just want to be aware of that. But don't be nervous that especially if this is like a business, that if you can't, have all the working components right now, Gemini, you're an intelligent sign. You're going to get this figured out as you go. And you might be feeling a little nervous, if that's something that's resonating with you. Your ruler is retrograde right now. Will be retrograde until, depending on when you're watching this, I think it's through the 15th. Maybe 14th. Don't you like that it's getting sooner? I feel like 14th feels right. But through the 14th of May. So you might be feeling a little nervous, but that just because Mercury, your ruler, is in retrograde doesn't mean that you can't make plans, that we can't do this stuff. We just got to be a little more mindful about how we're doing it. So, and again, this doesn't have to be for something, even if it's like a business. Even if you've been wanting to start up like a hobby, maybe you want to make more reading, maybe you want to, build slingshots or something like that, Gemini, judgment-free zone here. That's actually kind of exciting. Putting in those energies and making that self-growth your focus, because I feel like you'll be very pleased with where that change leads you, and who knows what opportunities might open up for you. So just something to think about. Let's see what else we got here. Gemini, last little stack here. Interesting. Okay, I like that. Because you got, let's see, oh, a lot of sevens here. Okay, so we got seven of wands, 7 of swords in reverse, and then we got 7 of cups, and then the 3 of swords upright. And you know, Gemini, I almost feel like with this, if we've been under, how do I want to put this? If we've been under a lot of stress, you know, there's something here with these sevens. I feel like if we've just been kind of like sacrificing a lot, you know, really been, maybe we've, you know, Gemini, let me get a little bit more on the 7 of wands, because this is an interesting little mix here. I feel like that, yeah, let me get a little bit more on the 7 of wands before we hop into that. Enjoy yourself. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so you got Page of Pentacles up right here. Okay, so starting off, if we've been wanting to start up something, you know, whether this a hobby, a business, however this might be looking, and if we've been kind of like how I was saying, like maybe we've been doubting ourselves, or this could be maybe other people have been doubting ourselves, you know, maybe we're like, well, Gemini, you know, do you have the skills for this thing? You know, like, does this really seem like a feasible option, you know, with blah, blah, with everything that's going down, you know? That can kind of, just thinking with the 3 of swords, that's sort of like criticisms and things, like if we don't feel like we have that support from either ourselves or from others, you know, that can really hurt and get us in this place of doubt and depression and things. But I feel that if this is something that it's really speaking to you, you know, I feel like don't let it stay in a place of like where you feel defeated, like, oh, maybe this is a bad idea, you know. But because here's the thing with, like, especially you got ideas that you got cooking up, just think with this Page of Pentacles. If you got ideas that you've been wanting to cook up, you know, the only crazy idea is the one that's not being implemented, especially with Pluto getting ready to, you know, with Pluto being in Aquarius still right now. It's going to actually, when I'm recording this, it'll be going retrograde today about, oh, and about what? About 10 minutes. So, but, you know, Pluto in Aquarius is about innovation, you know, just really especially thinking with ideas and hobbies and things. So if you've been thinking about wanting to pick up a new thing, maybe you wanted to start something fresh, you know, don't worry about that. You know, don't worry about what other people think about what choices you make. Just know that I feel like with this, with like the 7 of Cups here, especially with like if this is others that might be influencing this doubt, don't let others influence your choices here, Gemini. You got to go with what resonates with you and then start that thing up, okay? But one last little, well, no, okay, no, I think I got all the nuggets out of there, Gemini, and I hope that made sense. It just feels like, yeah, if we're in just some sort of doubt or anything along those lines, just be mindful of that. But one more thing, Gemini. Let me get a little bit more. There's a little nugget here in this 3 of Swords here, then we're gonna move on. Yeah, there's something else going down here. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Interesting. Okay. So you got the 2 of Wands upright, and then we got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse here. And you know, I almost feel like with this, Gemini, that maybe some of us, we have been thinking about, if this is not something that we're thinking about doing, this almost feels like that's something maybe we thought about in like the past, maybe like an opportunity that we wanted to take. Let's say if we had like a dream to be a carpenter, but you know, it wasn't like, we got told that maybe it's like, well, how's that gonna, you know, fill up your bank account? You know, how are you gonna support yourself with all of those things? It's just like, I feel like don't let circumstances or doubts or anything, you know, get you from trying these, whatever this opportunities might be, Gemini. I'm just getting a strong kind of feeling there that just, yeah, if there's something that you want to pursue, you know, that you want to grow and see, you know, bring to fruition, I say definitely go do that, because I feel like that's going to really take some of that stress off, so we don't stay in this place of like, well, what if I had done this dream? We don't want to get in that type of game and think about what could have been. Let's make that happen, because here's the thing too, just even thinking maybe we might be thinking this is too late to start up something, like let's say we're in retirement, for example. This is a perfect time to start it up, because now we have the moment. You're in a new kind of cycle, and you can give this thing the care that you've wanted to give it to. Take that time. Queen of Wands is very creative energy. So two of Wands. This is Mars and Aries. Yeah, a lot of Aries energy coming through here. So really feeling like that. If we've just been maybe just in a rut or been wanting to start up something, let's get this thing going, Gemini. Alrighty, interesting start. But yeah, I hope that made sense. A lot going down here. Oof. Okay, alrighty. Let's get another oracle on this. Let's see. Oh, there you are, Gemini. You got the 5th card of Gemini, which is the yacht card. Look at you on a boat. And with this yacht card, I guess let me not downgrade your yacht. On a yacht, fancy sir, madam, queen of wands. You got this card, let me get to it. It's a card of adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind, self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, and extravagant. And Gemini, this could be, what better way, especially if we've been feeling stressed and stuff, maybe it's time to go on an adventure. If we've been thinking about maybe going on a vacation or something, whether this be, maybe you want to go on a cruise or something along those lines, but it could be even just like getting away for the weekend. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to go hiking, or maybe you want to, I don't know, just go into a different environment. But this could be something too, we've been kind of stuck with maybe for some ideas, even with this creative thing. Sometimes a great way to get those creative juices flowing is to, switch up your environment a little bit. Even just like going outside, maybe just like getting out, going with the wind. But I also kind of feel with this card, Gemini, just if we've been kind of like talking about this thing that we've been wanting to start up here, if that's something that's been resonating with you, and again, be business, hobby, side hustle, whatever. I feel like that if you were to give this thing started up, could potentially, especially if we're starting a business, could be something maybe lucrative, maybe find a little side income there. But I also feel like that maybe when we start doing some things that just bring us more joy in our lives, Gemini, that it would definitely take down some of this stress here, just working in, being a little, I don't want to say self-indulgent, but kind of like, just like indulge your dreams a little bit, or indulge like any sort of like hobbies or things, self-improvement, anything along those lines. But let's get some tarot on this. Alrighty, I like that. Because we got the world here. Yeah, that's sick. We got the world here. We got the 4 of wands upright, and all of them are upright. World, 4 of wands, and page of cups. And with this energy here, Gemini, I really feel like that for some of you, we're getting at this, and how appropriate really with this, the world for me can represent, this is like the last card of the major arcana train before we start over as the Fool. So if some of you, if we're just finishing up a project maybe, or just been thinking about what's next, what a great, we just got completed something. One, take a moment and celebrate, give yourself a round of applause, whatever it is that you just got done completing, and make sure that you bask in that energy, give that win its appropriate time, maybe throw yourself a little trip or something, something like that. But also, be thinking about, once you're done celebrating, be cooking up some stuff. What's next? What opportunities do you want to pursue? What ways can you grow? What ways can we, really stress this flex this, imagination and really make the most with all the opportunities that are out there, for the world to see. And really now, Gemini, just thinking with this, your yacht in the world here, just there's real kind of a high emphasis here, on some travel. Maybe this is something where if you've been thinking about a place, you've been wanting to go, I don't know, to Paris, and then you happen to go there. Maybe you meet someone who's like I don't know, Gemini. Maybe you meet someone who needs like an English teacher. Then you end up moving to France. Who knows? But I do feel like maybe even just getting yourself out there more in general. Just seeing what's out there. I feel like if you open your world up, more opportunities open up for you. So just something to think about. All right, Gemini, let's get some Tina. Let's get your last card here. Oh. Love it. All right, last card. You got the 9th card of Libras, which is the chocolate card. These chocolates always look really good. And with the chocolate card, this is a card of satisfaction, perfection, love, romance, treating yourself, sweet, rich, smooth, splurge, aphrodisiac, the good stuff, fine dining, do things right, celebration, and elevated mood. And when we talk about that celebrating, so you know what, Gemini? Even if we don't have necessarily like a specific reason to celebrate, I feel like just like celebrating just the fact that, just how far you've come on your journey, just like maybe because this energy here, just with this yacht, this stuff here, maybe we've been working quite a bit, this energy is interesting, because maybe this is stuff where we've been thinking quite a lot, or there's just been a lot that's been going down. Give your brain a break for a little bit if that's something that's resonating with you, and take this time, treat yourself, go on a trip, and listen, you don't have to, and we're going to talk about that splurge. We don't necessarily have to splurge, necessarily going down on a yacht, but I will say just getting out, maybe going to to a new city, or maybe to go into the country, or, if you live in the city, or vice versa, whatever that's looking like, but just getting out and doing some things that help make you feel good, maybe buying yourself a little special treat, whatever that is. But that's something, Gemini, just thinking with that splurge, especially when it comes to treating yourself, don't think of it as a splurge. That's an investment, because that's getting your vibrations back in line. That's investing yourself. You've been working your butt off. Why not treat yourself every now and again? Treat yourself to some chocolates on your yacht. Why not? You've deserved it. Or you deserved it, and you're going to deserve it more in the future. So, but I also really, just doing things to elevate your mood, maybe take yourself, if we've been made, because you just think with this romance card, maybe this is something, maybe getting out there for a date if some of us are looking for love, or even just like taking yourself out on a date, Gemini. Maybe going out to take yourself to your favorite spot, doing a dinner or one, having a good old time. I'll tell you what, girl, I used to work in food and beverage, and this girl, she treated herself to a full course meal, got a bottle of wine, appetizer, dessert, entree, all but party of one. And I tell you what, Queen, you talk about a Queen of Wands. She was all up in her Queen of Wands, confident, beautiful, just enjoying herself, really savoring the moment. So something to think about. I love it. Treating yourself. You got the Ace of Cups and the Judgment card here, Gemini. And with this energy, interesting. This is actually, I feel like just with this energy, one, really taking the time and just making sure that we're filling up all of our cups, Gemini, doing things that are just pleasing to your senses. Each of these streams represents, one of the 5 senses. So, treat yourself to, just listen to some nice music, maybe drop a bubble bath, put some soft lighting on, and, maybe get some essential oils. Oh, look at that. Just something along those lines to just help this tension and stuff, get that stuff assuaged. But Also, Gemini, I do feel like for some others, just with this Judgment card, and with you got Judgment, Death, the World, there's something here that I feel that if we take an opportunity, if we begin something, just if we've been sitting on an idea and it's been like you've been like, oh, should I do this? Could I do this? Like, oh, just kind of oscillating. I really feel like give this a try, because who knows how this, because I mean, Death card, Judgment, that's a lot of transformative, because Judgment card is Pluto and Death card Scorpio. Pluto rules Scorpio, and we were talking about Pluto in Aquarius. So if we have something we've been wanting to cook up, do this thing, because I really feel like that's going to fill up your cups in a way and get you feeling abundant in all types of ways, Gemini. So don't sleep on any ideas or any sort of opportunities and anything along those lines. Ready, aim, fire, and let's get a focus. More. Yeah, because that's us. Like, this seems pretty. That was a bit aggressive. Yeah, so Gemini, so yeah, don't sleep on these ideas or these dreams, or don't be kind to yourself. You don't criticize yourself. Don't listen to other people's criticisms. And whatever skills and things that you might need to learn, you'll learn them, Gemini. I mean, your energy is like you're like a sponge. You can absorb. Right, you can absorb energy. I mean. Absorb information just at an incredible rate. So know that whatever this is, if we need to pick up some things along the way, that's what Queen of Wands will do. She'll learn as she goes. But sometimes we have to get in it, Gemini, start this thing to figure out what we don't know so that we can, improvise. But, all right, last card here, we have the Moon. And we have Moon upright, and then let's switch back over. Because with the Moon card, this can be a card of illusions. And just thinking with like how this came out with the Seven of Wands, or well, not with it, but how this in the Seven of Swords is here. If we've been telling ourselves that we can't do something, or this doesn't feel like a good idea, or that maybe we've been coming up with like different reasons to not start it. Oh, I need X amount of skills. Oh, the planets aren't aligned, whatever that is. The Moon is not, don't feel stressed about this. Again, if this is something that you're worried about or that you've been stressed about, that means it probably means something to you. So give it a try. All the Moon card wants you to do is to shine your light, because after the Moon card is the Sun, that happiness, that fulfillment. So yeah, I really am getting, don't, whatever this is, and this doesn't have to be even like a business, again, Gemini. Even just like if you've been wanting to make more time to learn another language, if you've been dreaming of France, why not pick up another language and do that? Because that'll get you there. Start working your energies towards that, whatever that's looking like for you. But don't feel like this is out of your grasp or it's too fanciful or anything along those lines. So Saturn energy, with Saturn being in, because this is Pisces. Saturn's in Pisces right now. This is a great time to take any dreams that you have and make them come true. So, all right, Gemini. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. A little all over the place, but yeah, hopefully that you got a little nugget of wisdom out of there. And if yeah, let's give it a thumbs up. Get this message spreading around. Let's get the abundance going, because especially if you got some ideas that you've been cooking up. Because with Pluto and Aquarius, granted, yeah, it's like Aquarius is going to be feeling it the most, but air signs in general are going to be, you're going to be feeling that. Especially you got that in a strong placement. Like Sun, Moon, Rising, maybe even some of your personal planets. So just be thinking about that. And if you know someone who might be either under stress or maybe been sitting on an ideas, maybe been needing to treat themselves, share this with them. Let's get Geminis out there just working, getting the, hold on. If they've been working, let's get them resting, and then vice versa. Talk to the Gemini. Gemini's looking at you, making, just doing the twins. And then, what? I have both of you, both sides, create an account for each of those twins and have them all subscribe to my, subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. Now we're getting silly. Gemini, I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer. It's a group, I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's a spot to drop like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And then as the group grows, I've been hitting up a few court cards and some major arcanas where we're cooking up some meditation ideas. So come on over to that, and all that information for that is in the description box below. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Saturn, wherever, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. Absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Gemini, so I can get you out of here and get you moving on to calmer shores, some new experiences. And love it. So with that Six of Swords, and I'll get your other oracle card while we're talking about this. But with the Six of Swords popping up, this can be a card, especially if we're thinking about starting up something new, you know, journeying to a new opportunity, horizon, starting up something new. Six of Swords is leaving those doubts behind, getting out of our head, those thoughts that we can't, because that's just going to weigh down, just going to put holes in your boat, and it's just going to make getting to that. And we don't want to put holes in your yacht, Gemini. It's too nice. You don't put swords in your yacht. Kidding. Well, I'm not. But it's just going to make the journey just a little bit trickier, a little bit harder to get through. But if we take these opportunities and don't doubt, because you got the Birth card in reverse, and if we don't doubt that we can bring to life new ideas and things, then I tell you what, just abundance opens up. You know, change happens. Ace of Cups, your cups are overflowing. So really, and you know what? And I just feel like, and you know, really, again, Gemini, Six of Swords. This could be another card of travel. You look at that. We're getting on our boat here. You know what? Even if you're not traveling by water, maybe just getting by some water, just if that's possible, to do some thinking, or maybe even just like I was saying, maybe even just getting in a bath. Maybe if you feel inspired or something along those lines, but. Who knows? Who knows, Gemini? What ideas might come to your head? What epiphanies? What yachts, gold that you're sitting on? So, but I'll leave that there. Stay safe out there, Gemini, and safe travels if you're gonna be traveling here soon. Because yeah, you got all sorts of stuff here, and you know, really, get your energies calm, and then raise that vibration through the roof, Gemini. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.